Hi guys, welcome to Wasted Lunch. I'm Paul McVeigh. How we doing? My Monday, start of the week here. Got my coffee here. Drink a cup of coffee with me, guys. Hang out and BS a little second. I gotta go get some. Be right back. Alright, coming back, guys. There we are. There we are. Let me grab my paper and pencil in case I need to write things down. Whew. Yes. It was a pretty good weekend. Decent weather over here. It's nice. Sunny, not rainy. Today, rainy. Got on here a little bit late. I'm usually on here a little bit too early. What's happening, Joe? How we doing? Looks like Joe got out on his lunch break. Cool. Did you have a good weekend? I had a good weekend. Hung out with the kids. Got to be outside a little bit. And, yeah, got to watch a brawl between my 7-year-old daughter and my wife. Not a real fight, but, yeah, my daughter's taking an interest in some boxing gloves. I've got some, I've got a heavy bag and a speed bag set up and have some training gloves, and so my 7-year-old decided she wanted to box with her mom. Joe says, "What's up? Dig the hat?" Yeah, weekend was good. I'm glad you had a good weekend. Thank you for the compliment on the hat. My wife got me this a while back. Christmas. So yeah, my wife and daughter got into a little boxing match an impromptu boxing match in the living room. I guess my 7-year-old daughter packs a punch. She got a couple decent shots on my wife. Punched you where? Cheekbone or something. Walloped her really good in the cheekbone, and but they weren't wearing actual boxing gloves. These were, like training mitts.
Mine were more boxing than
so they weren't, I guess my daughter had the thicker, harder ones. Well, they're not thicker. They're actually thinner but harder padding. Morning, Gary. Well, good afternoon. I'm sorry. So, yeah, I guess my 7-year-old was, I was watching too, but I didn't know they actually hurt. But I guess a couple of the shots, punches, she actually hurt my wife, so, I'm not going to mention that I paid my daughter $5 to beat up my wife either, so, but, yeah, that was interesting. Oh, wow. Yes, the start of another week. What's going on with you, Gary? Anything exciting happening your way? Oh, shit. Time is 12:11 oven standard, and I had a couple ideas, just questions I thought might be interesting to talk about. One is kids' names. Kids' names. You ever hear any kids' names and we're like, why would somebody name a kid that? You ever hear some of those names? First names for a kid? You're screwed when it comes to your last name. Well, hell, when you're a kid, when you're born into this world, you're screwed anyways. You don't get to choose your name, But Gary says, I look like a cowboy. Well, I am a bit of what I like to refer to, coined a term called Metro Billy. Gary? You just said Gary. Oh, I look like a cowboy like Gary. Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind going out west. I wouldn't mind checking out the warmer climes because, you know, fall's right around the corner here, kind of on us, and winter is really around the corner, and that could be rough. So, yeah, I'd like to see what it's like out west in the winter time. But, yeah, shitty kids' names. You guys ever hear any?
Cream cheese pancakes.
Cream cheese pancakes. I've never heard that for a first name. But,
You said shitty.
oh. I've heard some pretty shitty first names, okay? I think the parents thought they were being creative. Here's one of the funniest I've heard. I don't think it's supposed to be funny. But, you know, maybe I'm just a bastard and that's why I look at it this way. But here's a nice first name. Jose. Yeah. You know, a kid named Jose. Yeah. How's that? Jizzy for a name, huh? Terrible. Gonna name your kid Jose. Yeah. Real name. Jose. Now,
Never heard that one.
here's a good name. It's a real friggin' name here, too, for a kid. Seen this one. Honesty. Only spelled ho-nasty. H-O-N-A-S-T-Y. Ho-nasty. Honesty.
No. No H.
Oh, no, I thought it was H-O.
No, there's another one that...
I thought I'd seen H-O, ho-nasty. I thought I'd seen that.
O.
And I've seen ho-nasty spelling.
Yeah.
O-N-A-S-T-Y.
Yes,
Ho-nasty. Watch, I'm probably offending somebody. One of you guys probably has a nasty hoe kid and a jizzy kid, and I'm offending you. I'm sorry if I am, but don't name your kid this shit. You know, I mean, serious. You ever hear some shitty, terrible first names for somebody and thought, what the hell were their parents thinking? Yeah, I imagine right now there's somebody named Jizzmop or something that's going to get pissed off at me. You know? For making the name, I mean. It's just, why would you name your kid something, you know, it basically is semen, you know? Why?
Conviction.
Yeah, there's another one, conviction. It's another first name. That makes me think of a criminal. That's first name. Honest to God, guys. These are real first names. I'm not bullshitting you. About you, Joe, you ever hear any... Uh-oh, Joe's off. Maybe he's... Oh, shit. I don't know if Joe had to go to work. Don't tell me, Joe, that your first middle name is Jose. Oh, gosh. Maybe I offended him. But, yeah, I've seen some pretty bad first names. Celebrities like to name their kids shitty first names, don't they?
Yeah, that one couple named their kid Northwest.
Yeah. Who? Some celebrity couple named their kid Northwest?
And Keanu West
Rihanna?
named their kid Northwest.
Name their kid Northwest. What the hell? Gary says, Gary would like to see me. I'd love to see Gary, too. Someday when I get the time and money, I'd like to go and see them guys. But how about you, Joe? Joe, I thought you quit watching. I thought maybe I'd struck a nerve. Maybe your middle name was Jizzy or something. You got offended and got off of here. Got off.
Pubert.
Pubert? Pubert's a real name?
Yes.
You gotta be shitting me.
Yes.
Pubert.
Pubert.
Short for puberty. Could you imagine that? Being named Pubert? Oh, I'm probably gonna end up offending somebody. That's not my intention. Alright? You know, I mean, it doesn't mean you're not a human being because you got one of these names that, you know, is ridiculous. Doesn't mean you're less of a person. Oh, Joe, you had a text. Okay. I was going to say, I thought maybe, maybe you got offended because your middle name was Ho Nasty or something, Pubert. First name? Joe's offended. JJ, Joe Jizay. Jizay just makes me think of like a perverted rapper or something. Jizay.
Here's a good one, Elizabeth.
Oh, shit. Joe says that's funny. Well, here's one my wife just found, an Elizabeth. That's just clunky. Elizabeth. That sounds like somebody just screwed up on a birth certificate. Elizabeth.
Yep, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
And then we have...
Oh my God, Elizabeth.
Hell Azel.
Hell Azel.
Uh-huh.
How the hell do you spell Hell Azel?
Hellazl.
Hellazeel.
Mm-hmm. Hell Azel.
Hell Azel. Hell Azel.
It is...
What the hell is that?
The guy is a big fan of Hell's Angels, and the mom, her name was Hazel, so they put the two together.
How do you know this?
Has an article on her.
There's an article on somebody named Hell Azel.
Mm-hmm.
And they got named that because of Hell's Angels?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Little Sweetmeat.
Little Sweetmeat? Somebody got named that? I mean, it's a real name, not a nickname? That's a legal name.
Yes.
Little Sweetmeat.
Yes.
That's got to make you think somebody's parents are weirdos.
Or how about ABCDE?
ABCDE. You're finding these are real names. ABCDE. Uh-oh. Shit, Joe said, I gotta start the show earlier tomorrow. He's gotta go back to work already. Shit, that sucks, Joe. Well, don't work too hard. Shit. Have a good day, bud. Yeah, I ended up on here a few minutes late because ended up eating lunch early. Usually I don't get around to eating lunch until actually after the show. So that's what usually happens.
Appaloosa.
Oh, Appaloosa is another one. I've heard of the word. Isn't it a horse or something? Isn't it a horse?
I think so.
Let's see, Joe is asking if I'm going to the Cinderella Ball next month.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to the Cinderella Ball. I'm going to
be careful because our daughter might box
grooving, so I have to see you there at the Cinderella Ball. I imagine you're going there.
Relay.
I'm going to be, I don't know. I'm going to be the best looking princess at the ball.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, wait, hold on. You found another weird ass name?
Yes, melanoma.
Melanoma?
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
You're going to name your kid after cancer and shit. Well, I'll see you there, Joe. Okay, here's another one. Hold on. What is this name?
Vaginica.
Okay, guys, you ready to hear this name? I imagine this is a female name, Vaginica.
Yes.
Vaginica.
Vejonica.
Vaginica.
Oh.
I mean, could you imagine? Your one of your siblings or something, you having a niece named Vaginica? I mean, and hearing that name for the first time and trying to keep a straight face right in front of them parents while you're told that this little baby's name is Vaginica.
How about felony?
No, get the hell out of here.
Yes.
Felony?
Felony with
Felony
PH.
is the first name. The PH.
Felony.
Felony. Oh my gosh. Boy, talk about cursing your kids. Damn. Felony.
Abstinence.
Abstinence? That's a name suggestion
yes,
here?
It is
Abstinence.
a name. Oh
my gosh. Boy, with the name like
Trixie Belle.
well, with the name like abstinence, you know, you figure they'd be a virgin for a very long time. Fifi, what? Getting these names told to me. My wife's looking at these names.
I lost it. Fifi Trixie Belle.
Fifi Trixie Belle. Now, if that isn't a trampy ass name, I don't know what is.
In Egypt, Jamal Abraham named his baby girl.
Yeah, what'd he name his baby girl?
Facebook.
Facebook? Somebody named their kid Facebook.
Facebook to acknowledge the role the social media played in spurring the revolution in his company.
Somebody named their kid Facebook because of what Facebook did for their company. Really? What the hell? You know, and here's the thing, is the more stupid people get, okay, and the more widespread the stupidity through the internet, the more goofy-ass names we're going to be seeing.
We're moving on to the boy names.
Okay.
Jihad.
Like Jihad?
Jihad, yeah.
Jihad.
Yeah.
Jihad for a name.
Clitis.
How's that spelled?
Clitis. It is not.
It sounds
Cletus.
like somebody misspelled Cletus.
Yeah, it's Clitis.
But it's Clitus. Clitus.
A French couple named their child Clitis.
A French couple named their kid Clitus. What the hell? Could you imagine well, I mean, I wonder if it's pronounced Cletus.
Listen to this story.
But it's spelled Clitus, guys.
Okay.
Somebody's named their kid Clitus.
This is a messed up.
Come over here. If you're going to be reading this shit, might as well be able to hear you.
I don't want to be
I'm playing
close
this.
to you.
Well, you. Wise ass. I mean, come on.
Okay. A French couple named their child Clitus. When asked the reason, they said they were a huge fan of the U.S. actor of the same name. The second question was, which U.S. actor was named Clitus?
No kidding.
They replied in their French accent, Clint Wood. They meant Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood? Okay, hold on. Let me read. Can I read this?
Yes.
Check this shit out. The French couple named their kid Clitus. Clitis. Okay? Chris says I just got on here and the first word I hear is Clitus. What the? Exactly. Named their child Clitus. When asked the reason, they said they were huge fans of a U.S. actor of this name. The second question was, which U.S. actor was named Clitus? They replied in their French accent, Clitus Wood. They meant Clint Eastwood. So, hey, Frenchies thought he was Clitus Wood. Oh my God. Clitus Wood's terrible. Oh my gosh. What a fucking name. Yeah, Chris, yeah, you, I'm talking about terrible names to name somebody, to name a human being. Oh my gosh, I've seen that as a last name. Here we go.
I can't do it anymore.
Now, if you got kids and you think they're the shit, then you need to name them Colon. Alright? Colon. Colon. Oh my gosh. Colon. Let me see. Chris just put something on here. Top definition of Clitus. Let's see. An overzealous spaz. Shut the hell up, you damn Clitus. Clitus. And now colon. Oh my gosh, let's see. Clitus. Also, diarrhea of the mouth. A person who talks a lot of shit speaks Clitus. Gosh. I don't know where the hell you got this shit. Clitus. Oh my gosh, and Chris has the definitions for us. Colon. I mean, you know, people are naming their kids this shit. I don't even know how the hell you pronounce this one. Thermopylae? Thermopylae. Okay? This article says, it's a name of a town in Green, wherever the hell that is. I don't know if that's in America, England, wherever. Let's see. That's not that weird. Well, it is that weird. It's weird, but it's not vulgar like colon or clitus. Zuma. Zuma's a boy's name? Oh, Gwen Stefani named her kid Zuma after a beach in Malibu. See what I mean? Those damn celebrities use some weird shit. Oh, Chris said the definition was not from him. It was from the Urban Dictionary. Thank you, Chris. Very much. I like to know as much as I can about the clitoris. It's hard to find research area. Let's see. Here's one. Now I have seen this one in real life. Unique. Only spelled with a Y-U-N-I-Q-U-E. Unique. I wasn't coughing. I get in front of the damn camera, and now, of course, I'm going to hack to death. Shit. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. A Reddit user shared his experience when he was in the Navy. He came across a general with the last name, get this shit, Star Cruiser. Yeah. When he looked up, he found that his full name, he looked it up and found out the person's whole name was Mercury Constellation Star Cruiser. Wow. Somewhere there's a general name. Wow, Mercury Constellation Star Cruiser. I don't know, that's kind of a cool name. I mean, there's, you know, I would never name one of my kids that. I mean, shit, you know. Guess I just stuck with kind of the standard kind of names. Maybe they're boring to some people, but, you know, I wasn't going to name my kid Colin or Jose, you know, or Clitus. Let's see. Chris Martin says, wow, named my daughter Marley from Bob, but spelled it Lee because my middle name Lee. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good name. I mean, it's different, but it's good. Has nothing to do with, you know, I mean, some of the stuff in some of these damn names I've come across. Scott Harwick says, Yo, Scott, what's happening? I hope you're doing fantastic today. We're talking about terrible ass names to name kids. Some horrible names to name human beings. And I've found some strange ones. I've heard some strange ones in real life. If you guys know any weird ass names that somebody's had, I mean, by all means, share. Okay. I already shared the weirdest one I've heard in real life, you know, not reading this shit, not looking stuff up, was Jizzy, you know, which makes me think Jizzy. Okay. Hold on, I gotta steal a lighter from across the room. My wife stole it from me, now I gotta steal it back. You know, that shit works. Here we go, stole the lighter. Time to go back here. Yeah, any terrible names you guys know of? Terrible names. I mean, you know, like I said, the last names, Okay, Chris knows a guy whose first name is Stacy. That's different. I've heard Tracy, you know, this dude's name. I've heard that, but not Stacy. Wow. Poor bastard. Stacy, huh? It's still better than Colin. And maybe that Colin name is supposed to be pronounced Colon or something. Still ain't good. Still spelled C-O-L-O-N. Okay, that's still not a good first name. I'm sorry if your name is Colin out there and I'm offending you. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But it's got to make it. Oh my gosh. How in the, these people, I don't know. You'd think some people would have to, I don't know. Here's one. I guess a baby name. Let's see. That some people are using now is Gotham. Gotham. That's weird. What the fuck, man? Oh my gosh. Man. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, let's check that one off the list. Yeah, there are some bad names. Bad names for naming kids. Got a question now. Chris, you live down in Florida. There's no lack of theme parks down there. Yeah. I had a thing, kind of a brainstorming thing. Theme parks. You could make your own theme park. What would you do with it? What kind of a theme park would you make? Some of these names got me thinking of some funky shit, especially that Colin name. I'm now thinking of a theme park, designed by a proctologist. Could you imagine the rides there'd be? Imagine that. The rides made, and if there was a whole theme park that was designed by a proctologist, there could be some amazing rides in there, couldn't there? I could imagine a ride that, like, you sit in these cars and they fly out real fast and then slam together real close, called the sphincter. Or maybe, you could have, I don't know. What the hell am I even talking about here? Jeez. Talk about, Chris says a roller coaster with dildos. Whoa! Yeah, well, you could ride in them. And like while you're going up the hill, they start vibrating and stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh shit. Let's see. Gary says, and I'm going to read this word for word, Gary. I would need one roll a joint. Are you saying you'd have to roll a joint before going to this theme park? Yeah, I mean, I could imagine these. Oh gosh. Well, you're talking about dildos, Chris. And I'm thinking of these roller coasters where you're like riding through intestines and I don't know why I'm thinking of shit. Oh, I'm thinking of shit because of that name Colin. That's why I'm thinking of shit. With you talking about the roller coaster there, that makes me think of, yes, a complete adult-inspired theme park. It could be, oh my gosh, it could be, you know, well, let's just say the Tunnel of Love ride could be a lot different than what most people picture, you know. I shouldn't even be talking like this, should I? I don't know. We're talking about theme parks, and oh my gosh. Chris, any other ideas for any of the rides that could be in this theme park? This adult theme park. Okay. Oh, Gary says that's what I would name one. Colon. All right, Chris, you like the Tunnel of Love? Yes. You just, you know, you're maybe it could be like a kind of merger between your idea with the oh, what the hell, this is already turned adult here with the dildo ride, and you know, so you ride in this, and then as you approach the Tunnel of Love, kind of, you know, opens up, and then the car goes right through it, and then, you know, it could be an educational ride too. It could. Let's see, Chris. Chris's idea of rules for this theme park is all chicks must be topless. Oh my gosh, yes. There could be. Wow. We probably got some. Oh gosh, this is really, we're getting bad here, guys.
When you're done.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, I'm getting money thrown at me. Look at that. Wow. I like money being thrown at me.
Me too. Throw it back.
Hell, I forgot what this shit looked like. Oh my gosh. So we're getting, well, hell, if we're gonna get bad, we might as well go totally bad. Yeah.
Oh, can I have my phone?
Yes. I gotta give my wife her phone back. I was reading about the terrible ass names.
I think you've moved on.
Yes, we've moved on past the names. Now we're talking about a totally explicit theme park. Okay. With the Tunnel of Love, there could be.
Hey, you can get a bounce
my wife's
house.
got an idea for a bounce house.
Boobies, a bounce house.
A booby bounce house. I like that. I like this. And Chris St. Cletus would be the name of the park. Uh-oh, my wife's suggesting something. She suggested the booby bounce house, which is good.
You could go through a ride like Thunder Canyon, only
Yeah.
it would be called Jizay.
Yeah, oh. My wife said you could have a Thunder Canyon type ride only, and that could be the Jizay. So she took one of those names too and threw that in there. Yeah. Thunder Canyon only, yeah. I don't think I'd like what would be squirted on somebody on a ride called Jizay, though. You know, that sounds... Seaman Canyon! Oh my gosh. We just get so dirty on this episode. Damn. But yeah, there's so many disgustingly awful rides you could have. And you know, a lot of theme parks have rides that, you know, that are, you gotta have something spooky and eerie. Well, if you're talking a sexually explicit theme park, there's all kinds of things you could use to make it scary. I mean, STDs could be part of the ride too, you know. What's up, Brian? We're welcome. It's not going to be for all taste. We're talking about explicit theme parks. Let's see. Did I have a good weekend? Yes, I had a real good weekend. I had my youngest son over for the weekend, so that was cool. Wasn't quite hot enough to go swimming, but it was, you know, it was like almost hot enough to go swimming, but not quite. So we didn't go swimming, but, you know, kids, they ended up vegging out the other day. And we're all sitting around the kitchen table, and everybody's got a tablet or a cell phone or some shit. And then I'm like, all right, I'm sitting and I'm looking at us all, and I'm like, all right, this shit's got to stop, guys. And I'm like, everybody, turn your shit off. Everybody that was at the table, from 13 years old and younger, I'm like, turn your shit off. I didn't have any grand ideas of what to do, but I'm like, we're done. We're done. You guys spent over an hour on these electronic pieces of shit. It's time to do something. So I stopped that, and all of a sudden I turned it into arts and crafts time. So now I didn't have any fantastic ideas like, coming up with puppet shows out of paper bags or any cool shit like that, or building a spaceship out of cardboard or anything like that. It just turned into strictly coloring time. Crayons, coloring books. But I was like, we need a break. So that's what we did for the next hour. We colored. But I had fun coloring. I did. But yeah, I had a good weekend. Got the kids out of the house a little bit. It was cool. We had a nature walk around the house. Because I don't live in the city. I don't live in town anymore. So my wife found a garter snake, grabbed it, and so the kids got to pet a snake. We collected up, we collected up acorns and beech nuts and shagbark hickory nuts. Anybody out there ever eat those? Funny how the subjects change so fast, isn't it? You go from sex-themed parts to this, but yeah, collected those up. My wife's collecting these hickory nut things to use for cookies. They taste good. They actually taste very good. But we got a couple shagbark trees around here. You drop these big ass green nuts off of them. Well, and here's the thing. The meat on these things, okay, they drop and they're in a green ball. They kind of look like a black walnut. If you've ever seen one of those fall off a tree, they're a round orb that's green. You rip that off, and then it is a brown round thing inside that you rip these. I don't want to say quarters because I think there's more than 4 pieces. You rip these off, and then there is a nut inside of there, inside of yet another damn shell. And then you have to take that apart to get to the damn meat. The meat is a cross between, I would say, walnut and pecan. See, Ryan says, any sign of Bigfoot while we were out? No. Unless you count me, okay? That's what I used to get picked on, called Bigfoot when I was a kid, especially because we're size 16. So I was the only Bigfoot that possibly was around the other day. But that's funny, Ryan, that you bring up Bigfoot, because, guys, went to what we call Bigfoot diet. Chris says, is this part of the keto diet? That, my friend, I am not 100% sure where shagbark hickory nuts falls into the ketogenic scale. Okay, I do not know the full nutrition facts on there. So I don't know how many carbs there are, fats, and protein. But I'll tell you what, the meat in the hickory nut is very greasy and oily. Oily, not greasy. But see, Chris, you've lost 13 pounds since September 3rd. Wow, good for you, man. Hell yeah. Sweet. I have lost, about, my wife has it wrote down somewhere. I've lost about 10 pounds a week. Now, on this, only eat fat and protein thing, diet, okay? Lost a little over 10 pounds. Not bad. Now, bear with me here. I've started exercise, not intensive shit. You know, I got a son who's a wrestler, okay, and they do insane shit for their exercise things, you know, and he's telling me how I should be, you know, doing all this crazy shit, and I tell him, you know, I don't want to have a stroke, you know. So, but I started walking on the treadmill. Chris, nice. Keep it going. Thank you, brother. Thank you, and you too. Yeah, I mean, so I've started walking on the treadmill, okay? I do wasted lunch, and then immediately after wasted lunch, I do my treadmill thing. Now, I do not run on it, all right? I have never ran on a treadmill, okay? I've seen people run on them, and I'm like, shit is kind of intimidating, because it's like, you know, one misstep, your ass is flying into a wall or something, you know? And if you don't think of that, YouTube that shit. You'll see people flying through walls and shit, you know. You know, falling down on the treadmill, getting your face ripped off by that shit. So, I've never ran on a treadmill, okay? I walk on a treadmill, and I don't walk fast, okay? Someday I'm going to crank up the speed a little bit. The other day, and this tells you how out of shape I am. I was excited because I walked half a mile, okay? So I am definitely, I'm taking baby steps literally here. But it's something, it's something. So I'm doing the diet and have a little bit of walking in there. Now, I know half a mile isn't that far, but I'll tell you what, when you are large and in charge, okay, and you are not 17 anymore, you know, I mean, it's a big deal to me, and it's all relative, you know. Let's see, Chris, you're saying walking is better than nothing. Yes, it is, because I became sort of couch commando, and I realized I don't want to be that way. You know, over a year ago, I was still overweight, but I was still a lot more active. I was on my feet a lot during the day, and then just some shit happened, and I ended up being in a slump there, you know. Ryan says, better than running outside, Bigfoot is loose. I'll tell you what, Ryan, if you know any juicy Bigfoot stuff, share, by all means. I love Bigfoot stories. Speaking of Bigfoot, you brought up Bigfoot. Pardon me for clearing my throat there. I went down what we call Bigfoot Road, okay, because there's a legend, there's a story, a Bigfoot story that took place there. I've talked about that Bigfoot story before, the boys camping. And, but on this road, off of this road technically, is a ridge that me and my friend Scott used to go and play and climb on this ridge when we were kids. And there is no doubt in my mind about it, an Indian burial mound, okay? And now, if you want to be PC, Native American burial mound, there. And what's cool about this is, you know, for years I've told the story of how we used to go and climb on this mound that is on top of a ridge. And for years I told this story, and then a couple years ago I started thinking, is this something that really happened, or is it just something that as a kid I wished it happened and became some false memory or whatever? Well, last spring, I don't know why the hell I'm bringing it up now, because it's Bigfoot stuff, and you mentioned Bigfoot, that's why. Last spring, before the leaves were on the trees, I went driving around, went down that road, what we call Bigfoot Road, and looked at that ridge, and by golly, what did I see on that ridge? The ridge is going like this, you know, it's one long hill, and then all of a sudden, a perfectly round, semicircular mound. I wasn't bullshitting myself all these years, and I wasn't bullshitting anybody else. There was that mound. I could see it on the hill, because there weren't any leaves on the trees, and there was that big, beautiful, I mean, it's completely unnatural. No doubt in my mind, it is a burial mound. So, and it is there. It really is there. I wasn't imagining it, from some false memories as a kid, because you wonder, or at least I do sometimes, did I wish something happened so bad as a kid that my brain kind of over the years created this as a reality or whatever? Well, it is true. It is physically, touch it there. So, got so excited. Now fall's coming up. And now fall, usually to me, a lot of people love fall. It's so beautiful, all the leaves changing colors and all that. And it is beautiful for about 2 seconds, and then those leaves are gone. Okay? And then you are in this mushy, dreary, at least in Ohio and in the Midwest and the eastern, northeastern states is dreary, blah. But I'm looking forward to something finally when those leaves fall down. I'm going to be driving down Bigfoot Road again, and I want to take a picture of the ridge. I'm going to have to steal my wife's camera. She's got a really nice camera. I want to take a picture of that ridge with the burial mound in it, and then show it to you guys on Wasted Lunch, because it's really neat. Now, as an adult, and as a fat adult, I don't know about walking up there and climbing this ridge, As a kid, I didn't give a shit about anything. Trespassing, who cares? You're a kid, you're out in the woods, I mean, most grown-ups back in the days just wanted you out of their damn hair. So, Ryan says that was a Yeti, not Bigfoot. Okay, are you talking about are you talking about the one outside of Massillon? Is that what you're talking about? It was a Yeti? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Ryan, but, I mean, by all means, you can elucidate and explain that. Now, I stole the lighter. You saw me steal the lighter, guys, and I lost them. How about you, Chris? You ever, did you do exploring when you were a kid? Did you go hiking and shit a lot? Any Bigfoot encounters or anything like that with you? I've said it before, I'll say it again, because it's honest to God truth. The only encounter, if you will, that I've ever had was when I was driving back home from Alabama, and off the side of Route 30, I saw what appeared to be a large, hairy hominid there. I'm going to sound technical. Hominid. Okay, which I would guess 6.5, 7 feet tall. Now, could it have been, now here's the thing, could it have been a human wearing some kind of costume or whatever, trying to get some kind of shit going? Maybe, but it was a really weird ass time of night, and a really, I don't know, just kind of a strange place to stand off side of the freeway to, who knows, but I'm telling you, I've seen it. Of course, that was after how many hours of driving, but saw a large, hairy figure. Chris says, I like watching the Bigfoot stuff on TV, but I don't really believe in any of the stuff. The old videos make me wonder, though. Same thing with the Loch Ness Monster, etc. Yeah, here's the thing, like, Chris going on to say, I never explored things or places like that. Well, I lucked out growing up where I did. Okay, I grew up in a part of Massillon that had lots of wooded areas still. Okay, I was grew up right on the edge of town. Okay, I lived in town, in the city, the big city of Massillon, but I grew up there, right near the edge. Okay, and the small-ish woods in my house led to larger woods. So, as a kid, I mean, that's just, we lived out in those woods. We had shit like Atari, and then later on Nintendo, but just got smoke in my eyeball. But going outside and being outside was a priority to us. We weren't wrapped up in video game shit. Being outside was definitely more important. When we were out in the woods as boys, it was like we were our own people. We were men, little men out in the woods. There was no law. No law in these parts. It was lawless territory. We built forts and huts and camp out, and, cook, have our air rifles or BB guns with us, go hunting down critters and eating stuff that you normally wouldn't eat. And so, yeah, we spent most of our time out in the woods, lucked out, and in that I didn't grow up in a neighborhood where I was surrounded by houses and shit. Let's see, Chris, you spent about 90% of your time at the boys club. Well, that's a cool place to hang out too. That'd explain why you were involved in sports and stuff, and I was just an idiot, I did the flag football thing when I was a kid. I did that for a couple years as a boy. Flag football. That was out of the boys club. Played for the Dallas Cowboys. I remember that. Which, of course, flag football, that meant you wore a certain colored t-shirt. Ours were light blue, I believe. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, yeah, that was, but, yeah, the woods, man, that was the place to be, in those woods, no parents, no grown-ups watching you, telling you what to do. You hack away at trees with an axe or a hatchet that you ripped off from your parents temporarily. Having campfires, doing dangerous shit that, if you were in the backyard and your parents caught you, they'd beat the hell out of you for. But you're out in the woods. And, my parents were like, as long as your ass wasn't inside all day, wasting your time being inside. They were all about get out of the house and do something. So we did something. A lot of the times those somethings weren't good somethings. But, we survived it. None of me or my friends lost any limbs, thank God, or got seriously injured. Too bad. I guess there were some injuries, but nothing serious. But that's where we spent most of our time. And shit, even in the wintertime, we spent a hell of a lot of time out in the woods. That was just more of an excuse to need a damn campfire. And it was a beautiful way to grow up. Beautiful way to grow up. Best of both worlds. I lived in town, but also in the country in a way. So make friends. You got friends who live in town, and, a few minutes of walking, and it's like you're out in the wilderness. That's fantastic for a kid. So, and the woods are a great place for storytelling and the Bigfoot tales and spooky stories about ghosts and stuff. I think the woods are one of the last, good spooky places we have left. You get out in those trees and don't see any buildings or houses and shit. And just hear the animals and nature around you and get a fire going at night. Shit. Look at the way people gravitate towards a fire at night. Which is awesome. There's something still in us that's still caveman instinct to just go to the fire. One for warmth, obviously, but also to tell stories and stuff. Gary's saying when he was young, he says, when I was young, I used to play over at the little stone quarry and put tents up over there. See? That's cool shit, man. It's cool shit. And I lucked out I lucked out that I could do that because so many of my friends lived in other places completely across town where they didn't have access to that stuff, where being out in the woods was a really special thing to them. Whereas me being out in the woods, it was special, but it was also normal. Every day it was out. It was so, and that caught fire and shit. So I just loved it. Yeah, I lived in town, but I was, well, you know, by my, I don't want to say by my breeding, but ethnically, culturally, I guess, you know, which I just found out a year or so ago. I'd never realized that, you know, I am, whether I like to face it or not, part hillbilly. You know, I just figured that shit out a little over a year ago, I think. But, yeah, it's, man, I'll tell you, yeah, if you ever get a, so now I'm glad I live where I live. There's woods out here where I live. They're not my woods, but some of them, woo, lost my connection for a second there. Some of my kids are respectful enough. They've asked the people who do own these woods if they can camp out in their woods, and these people are cool with it. So that's really nice. So I'm glad that I live where I live. Gary says I lived in town and had horses. Nice, nice. That's cool. That's cool shit. You know what's weird? I've watched old movies, guys, and seen that back in the days, that people got away with more shit, even when they lived in towns and in cities. Back in the days, it was very normal for some people who lived even in a large city, okay? Like Cleveland. We'll take Cleveland, all right? And I know this for a fact, that people, a lot of the times, would have chickens and animals penned up in their house, not in their house, jeez, Paul, come on. But they would have livestock in their backyard. What's up, Dan? They'd have animals in their backyard, you know, for eating. You know, they'd have chickens for laying eggs and for eating and stuff like that. But yeah, Gary, you talking about living in town and having horses made me think of that. That's one of the things you watch. If you watch some old movies, sometimes you'll see these people having chicken coops and shit right in their backyard, even though they live in large cities like New York, Cleveland, Los Angeles. People still would have these animals right in their backyard. Okay, but you know, people back then were more in touch with survival skills and shit, I believe, than nowadays. You know, I mean, a lot of people, okay, have extra food, you have your own chickens and you slaughter them. Okay, a lot of people nowadays would be like, oh, I'm not going to kill a chicken just to eat it, but, you know, they'll go to KFC, get a big ass bucket of it that, you know, somebody else killed. But a lot of people nowadays are not in touch with that, you know, and think, oh gosh, that's so terrible, that's so primitive or whatever, but they'll still eat the meat, you know, they'll still eat it, but they just don't want any part of killing it or pulling feathers or any of that shit. You know, I don't know, but yeah, country's good. Country is good. And now we're at a point where a few years ago, officially, according to censuses in America for the first time ever, more people live in towns, in cities, metropolitan areas, urban areas, than in the country. It's now a fact. More people live in urban areas than in the country now. It used to be the other way around. See, Gary says we had chicken stew, and when my dad went to go switching them and cut their head off, and used to chase us around the neighborhood, getting chased by headless chickens. It's beautiful. Beautiful imagery. Children getting chased by headless chickens. Yes, so grisly in that, but it's funny shit. I've always heard of it, but, you know, to be honest with you, I'll be honest. I've never watched a chicken get slaughtered, so I've always heard about, running around with like a chicken with the egg cut off, but I never actually seen it. There, I admitted it. I've never seen it. Now, you go back one generation, okay, with my mom and my dad. Okay, they grew up in two completely different places, but they were used to seeing that kind of shit, I mean, shit, my dad slaughtered many different kinds of animals through necessity, my parents didn't have, grew up very poor, so my dad's family was really poor, so any kind of livestock you could get your hands on, anything was fair game, literally. So, cows, chickens, muskrats, shit like that. Gary's saying it was funny. I'll bet it was funny. It was probably hilarious, and then again, modern folks, current time people, I mean, a lot of people would just think that was grisly and barbaric, But, then again, if you gotta do something that isn't nice, we'll say slaughtering animals isn't nice, okay? I don't believe in abusing animals to abuse them, alright? But I do eat them. I eat animals. But if you gotta do something that isn't quote unquote nice, I guess you might as well enjoy it by having the headless creatures chase you around the yard, At least have some fun out of it, I guess. Yeah. There's probably, I got a daughter who doesn't eat, she's a vegan or whatever. And I know people who are vegans. I don't know how the hell they do it. I don't know why they do it. Well, hell yeah. There's one thing, that was a lie. Because most people, when they're vegans, you know exactly why they do it, because, here I'm stereotyping. I shouldn't stereotype, but a lot of vegans will let you know what's wrong with you for eating meat. Not all. There's my disclaimer. Not all. But a lot of them will let you know why the hell you shouldn't be eating meat and why it's wrong. Now, I don't go around telling them, what's wrong with them, because I'm not like that. I think, don't fuck with me and I won't fuck with you kind of mentality. See, Gary says, yeah, growing up in those days, you had to do stuff like that to eat. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, where my dad grew up, in this scarceness and lack of food, they very much ate what they had to survive. And, them damn berries and fruits and shit, they don't grow all year round. So them people, had to can stuff, they had to can food, keep it preserved, and eat a variety of animals that, most of us do not eat now. I would never eat a possum, okay? I'll correct that. If I was starving to death, I would eat a possum. But other than that, I would not choose to eat possum. I wouldn't. But I've heard many tales of some funky-ass animals getting eaten, especially on my dad's side. Those folks grew up in the hills down in southeastern Ohio, Appalachia. And people in the hills, are known for being very ingenious and resourceful. And my dad's family was no exception when it came to that. A lot of clever people down in the hills that don't get credit for it. They get wrote off as dumb hillbillies, but there are a lot of very smart and inventive folks who live in the hills. And that, I think, spirit of ingenuity comes about through the old saying of necessity being the mother of invention. There's a lot of clever ass people living in the hills. and still do, I'm sure. Which one of these days I'm going to have to track down to what I call the motherland, where my dad's family came from, and I'd like to get it on video, and I'd like to have that online too. I'd like to put that up on YouTube. But yeah. Wow, today's talk has just went everywhere, hasn't it? Went from horrible ass names to what the hell are we talking about here? Rural survival skills. Ah, shit. But we're getting at that time where I have to hop off the air. So we're at the time where we gotta bid everybody a good day. I have to get off my ass and actually do something physical. Yeah, it's that time. Yes, Chris, it has been a broad range of topics. And that's where one of my challenges comes up, is coming up with a title for the show. You know, I like to put everything in the title. You know, I like to put everything in there. So when somebody's going through the wasted lunch videos, they can be like, nah, there doesn't seem like there's anything of interest for me on that day. I can skip over it or whatever. I like to put it all in there, but the problem is, and I bitched about it a little bit, is when I convert it to YouTube, is I have to have such a small title, you know, for the videos, but yeah, that's a fun challenge too. And see, Chris says I'm headed to Clitus to ride the coaster. See you tomorrow. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, Chris. I hope you find your favorite ride at Clitus. Gary, you have a good day too. And anybody else who stumbled upon this video, because you know I saved them for posterity. Thanks for watching, guys and gals. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Try not to get offended by too much of this shit. This is, you know, trying to have some fun on here. And if you saw this after it's already been recorded, remember that the Wasted Lunch Show is live on Facebook, Monday through Friday, noon-ish. I don't always get here on time. Sometimes I get on a little bit early, but get on, watch it live, and you're more than welcome to throw your 2 cents in. And who knows, in the future, you could possibly end up being on the damn show. So, you know, hop on. And I saved these videos to my YouTube channel, which is Paul McVeigh Originals Universe. That's a long title, but that's the title of it nonetheless. Thanks for joining us for Wasted Lunch. Everybody who participated, thank you. God bless you. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Be careful whatever you're doing. Be safe. Have fun. And I'll see you tomorrow, all right? Bye.